Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's been a bit. Welcome to the Cupid League Season 3.5, I guess. Yeah, we'll call it Season 3-2. Playoffs. Week 1 of the playoffs. We have, a few matches, and by a few, I mean we have 2 best-of-3s to watch. And yeah, the level of play should be higher from what we have been seeing up to this point. As you know, these are the people who have been performing very, very well, or at least solidly enough to make it to the playoffs. So the first match we have is actually going to be Lionheart versus Ryevji. We have the 3rd seed, Lionheart, versus the 6th seed, Ryevji, and the winner of this will probably be facing whoever is... Well, it depends on the seeding, I suppose, but yeah, we have Lionheart versus Ryevji, and we also have Antikiller versus Mr. Titan T. These are the 2 matches we will be going over today, and the winners of these will be facing Spirit and Plasma, respectively. That being said, I have not seen any of the playoffs matches up to this point, so it will be very interesting to see how these go. So let's go ahead and just get straight into it. Alright, so we're getting started here. Lionheart's going to lead with Tapu Koko, Ryevji's going to lead Porygon Z, presumably to click an attack, and it is Choice Scarf Porygon Z as it is outspeeding this Tapu Koko. We do not pick up the KO with Tri Attack, but we do quite a bit of damage, and since we are Scarfed, Skarmory coming in is disastrous for us. We have to get out of there. We go into Pelipper, as Skarmory is going to set up Stealth Rocks and also Spikes, and this Pelipper could honestly have Defog. I don't know why we're continuing to set up all of the layers, but Ryevji is just going to pick up the KO on Skarmory, and Lionheart's probably going to just go back into Tapu Koko, but instead we opt to go to Latios. We're going to use Thunderbolt, picking up the KO on Pelipper, as that is a ×4 super effective attack. And that's, yeah, just going to be a lot of damage. As a result, Ryevji has lost his only Pokemon that can run Defog, meaning that these Pokemon are, going to have to deal with losing about 29% of their HP on average every time they come in. Now Porygon, which is Choice Scarf, is going to use a couple of Ice Beams trying to get a freeze on this Mega Mawile, I guess. I'm not sure. I would have probably kept my Scarf Pokemon alive for later. And now we only have 2 turns of Rain left, as Barraskewda is going to come in and flip turn out on the Latios, and we go into Starmie. Starmie, I believe, speed ties Latios. No, it's faster. Or it should have been faster, but guess what? Latios is faster with the Energy Ball. This is probably a Scarfed Latios. Ferrothorn's going to come in now, but at this point the damage is done. We have no answers to this Tapu Koko, really, because it's going to come in, and we are going to let it get Toxic Poisoned by the Ferrothorn. So we should probably just Volt Switch out here. We're instead going to use U-Turn so we can nearly die. We would have died if this was also Rocky Helmet Ferrothorn, but it's not. And now Iron Moth comes in. Now, personally, I'd probably just sacrifice the Ferrothorn at this point. I don't know what we need to do with this thing, but we're going to instead stay in and click Toxic on a Pokemon that was a Poison type. Either that was the craziest prediction of all time, or Lionheart doesn't actually have any fire moves on his Iron Moth, and the Ferrothorn is continuing to click Toxic. I don't know why. And Mystical Fire is going to reduce the Ferrothorn's HP to practically non-existent. Now Ryevji reveals that it also has Protect, and we could have done that last turn to, be able to protect this turn, and it would have actually ended up killing the Latios if we did that. But instead, we decided to click Toxic again for no reason, losing our Ferrothorn. Now Tapu Koko is going to come in. We go into the only Pokemon that is faster than it, Smile, Barraskewda, and we're going to use Flip Turn so we can take even more Hazards damage. And we go into Jolteon here. Now, Jolteon dies to Sucker Punch from Mawile, I believe. Unless it's like some sort of really weird bulky Jolteon. But it doesn't matter because we have Quark Drive for special attack. And this is faster than the Jolteon, meaning this is probably Scarfed, and Sludge Wave will finish off game 1 in favor of Lionheart. Let's see how Ryevji ever bounces back from that. So we have Ryevji leading a Azumarill here. If this is Belly Drum Azumarill, it's going to go crazy. But instead, we unleash our Z move to use Z Belly Drum, which doesn't do anything extra when your health is already full. If you are not full health, it heals you fully, and then you Belly Drum. Alright, so we're going to get off 2 Aqua Jets, KOing the Skarmory, and, nearly dying to Rocky Helmet. Now, the Mawile is going to come in and Mega Evolve and be faster than Azumarill with Sucker Punch. I guess that was either a speed tie or Ryuji's just not running speed. You know, I couldn't really tell either way. But Starmie's going to come in and click Ice Beam on a Steel type for some reason. I don't know why we ever just decided to give up our entire Starmie. Like, what were we trying to Ice Beam there? The Latios? Why would he go into Latios? Were we trying to Ice Beam the Superior? Why would he go into Superior? You know, this thing can just kill you in one hit. Anyway, with the rain, Fire Fang is going to do not that much damage, but we're going to actually get a Fire Fang flinch after we already get the Paralyze from, I think it was Thunder Punch. Which is pretty impressive. Lionheart is kind of gaming on Ryuji right now, and Ryuji has no real answers to this. Brick Break's going to finish off the Ferrothorn. And now what do we do? I mean, at least Pelipper's alive this time. Barraskewda is going to come in and die to Sucker Punch. Very cool stuff. And now what do we have? We have Pelipper, we got Porygon, and I don't really see a win for Ryuji here. We go for Tri-Attack, which gets the burn, which is absolutely perfect, because now Porygon can survive, but this battle is over. There's no win here. Sucker Punch is going to finish off the Porygon, and Ryuji just did not play into this Pokemon correctly. And Tapu Koko is going to come in and be faster than even Scarf Pelipper and kill it with Thunder. And that is a 2-0 win for Lionheart. He's going to be our first semi-finalist. Congratulations, Lionheart. And now we have our other match. We have Mr. Titan T versus Antkiller, a rivalry of sorts in our little draft league. You know, how Mr. Titan T have, you know, terrible matches with Juvenile. These two usually play pretty well together, and I believe this is historically the third place match. But instead here it is, you know, the winner gets a chance at the third place match. So let's see what happens here. Alright, so Mr. T leads Tapu Fini, and Antkiller leads with Victini, and we stay in to get Scalded, and now we're going to use Bolt Strike to do, honestly, not that much, and Tapu Fini can just click another Scald here. That's cool, because you don't want to lose your Victini. And we get the Scald Burn on Rotom, which isn't exactly the best. I imagine you want to actually get Toxic Poison on this, but that's okay. We're going to go into Clodsire, which has Water Absorb, thus completely beating this Rotom with relative ease. This is going to be a free Curse here, or Surf. We do opt to go for Surf to get that chip off on Gliscor, but it's not that much, and Gliscor can honestly just protect all of that off. Now we're going to go into Dragapult, thinking that Dragapult is bulky, and we're going to take half from Gliscor's Earthquake, just so we can U-turn and let this Gliscor heal and get off yet another Earthquake. But instead, Gliscor, for whatever reason, decided to U-turn back, and now Antkiller brings in Glimmora on the Tapu Fini. Glimmora goes for Energy Ball as opposed to Sludge Wave, which is super effective, and Stab. And now we go into Dragapult to miss a Hydro Pump, because for some reason, you know, you miss 100% of the Hydro Pumps that you missed when you had the opportunity to click them earlier against a Gliscor. Now we have Clodsire versus Gliscor, and honestly, I don't see a single Pokemon on Mr. Titan T's team that can really beat Roost Gliscor. We go into Berserk and get you turned out on. Gliscor's back at full HP. Rotom is going to probably, you know, end this Moltres' whole career. But we have the power to switch. We could have switched into Ursaluna, but instead we decided to stay in, get Thunder Waved. Yeah, I mean, like, we had the whole turn to switch into Ursaluna, and now we're going to get Thunder Waved and Pain Splitted by this Rotom, and now look at us. Now look at us. We're looking like an absolute buffoon. Like, what the fuck is this Moltres doing? Why is it still in? Are you just trying to sack it? Antkiller is clearly trying to heal off of you. You should probably do literally anything else. Like, save this as sack fodder for later. Why sack it now? And look, Hydro Pump, finally. And after all that, we finally get the kill on Rotom after it has paralyzed our Moltres that has apparently, you know, just no use in this game whatsoever. When there's a whole Como in the back. Yeah, we just decided it has no use, and we're gonna let it get put to basically non-existent HP, just so Goldango can come in and get Fire. What are these clicks from these two? Like, why would you put a Goldango in front of a Moltres Galarian. It's a ghost. And now we get to bring in the Ursaluna for free. We're gonna go for Make It Rain, do no sorts of damage, and get Earthquaked for our troubles. And does this be a Flame Orb? It do be a Flame Orb with Guts. Okay, so Glamora probably doesn't kill this, but Mr. Titan T is scared and switches out. Yeah. I mean, actually, no, it might have killed. I don't know. It's hard to say. It's hard to say. Glamora does have quite a bit of special attack, and Energy Ball, I guess, is base 80 power. But that being said, you kind of, you know, you're not worried about stab as much as, you know, stab, make it rain, right? Anyway, we're going to do some more switching around as Gliscor is in. Antkiller has finally realized that this Pokemon has won the battle for the past 20 turns. And yeah, we're going to use Healing Wish to bring back in the Ursaluna, healing it to full, and we're going to now use Earthquake on a flying type. Very nicely done. Very, very nicely done, Mr. Titan T. And now we reveal that we have Ice Punch. Why would we click Earthquake? Like, if we have Ice Punch, why not just click Ice Punch? And Mr. Titan T has managed to play the last 3 turns as wrong as possible, and after all of this, Antkiller finally U-turns on Glamora to get off an Ice Punch when we are scared of, I guess, Toxic Debris or something, and we have a Poison type that we can just switch into and get rid of the Toxic Spikes anyway. What? Like... Anyway, back in comes Gliscor because Antkiller has decided, oh wait, yeah, I can just click Earthquake until Mr. Titan T's Pokemon are dead. Okay, look, there's one, does 71%, that's pretty huge. Oh, we get Crit for Surf for 40. And look, we can click Earthquake again. Did you know you can click Earthquake again? Oh my god, he can click Earthquake again. Incredible stuff, right? And look, it's an Ursaluna. And we're going to click Protect for some reason, because I guess we're scared of being slower, even though we saw earlier that U-turn was faster, and, you know, like, what? Yeah, I don't know. This was pretty bad, and I'm really glad that one of these two will be eliminated. Alright, next match, we have Game 2. Alright, so this time we have Antkiller leading the Glamora against Mr. Titan T's Dragapult. That's going to hit the Hydro Pump this time, bringing the Glamora down to its sash. No debris are going to go up, and Dazzling Gleam is hit in response. And for some reason, instead of taking the 80% chance, we're going to instead take a 100% chance to, you know, take extra chip damage on another Pokemon for no reason. Now we are going to lose some Life Orb HP, and we're going to Volt Switch out on the Rotom to take even more Life Orb HP as we go into Hatterene and get Hydro Pumped because, you know, I feel like that one's pretty predictable. You can't really hit Zeraora with anything else other than Hydro Pump on the Rotom, but it's fine, you know. Now we're going to use Healing Wish for some reason to bring in Ursaluna. And, yeah, now your Flame Orb doesn't trigger. And look, you're going to click Earthquake again on Gliscor. Yeah, I mean, honestly, like, what did you expect at this point? Okay, we're gonna click Ice Punch. We're slower. Gliscor does have to respect this, and Antkiller recognizes this and switches out. And finally, we just click the Cover All move. Wow, incredible. And we picked up a KO on the Victini as it comes in with Facade. Good stuff. Now Antkiller is going to go completely overkill mode and use the Fighting Z move to kill this Ursaluna. Because I'm pretty sure we are scared of Drain Punch. Anyway, Healing Wish finally triggers due to the fact that Ursaluna came in at full HP, and we fully heal our Dragapult. Now we're going to U-turn out because I guess we're scared of using Draco Meteor on a Dragon type, just so our nasty plotting, you know, threat Pokemon comes in and, you know, fantastic stuff, right? Gonna get paralyzed once again, as, you know, Antkiller is in love with the move Thunder Wave. And, you know, maybe Mr. T saw that Antkiller was clicking Thunder Wave, and he thought he had to play as bad as possible, just like he does when he plays against Juvenile. Maybe that's what happened here. Anyway, now we're going to lose our entire Berserk Pokemon due to the fact of allowing Dragon Dance to go up, and we're also going to nearly lose our Tapu Fini to a crit Poison Jab, but instead we lived, and we get to pick up the KO on the Como. And honestly, this game could really go either way at this point. I mean, the Dragapult does incredibly well here if positioned properly. And here comes Dragapult. This should be a Shadow Ball. It really should be a Shadow Ball. Okay, thank God he decided to click Shadow Ball. I would have probably banned him if he didn't. Because that was the easiest Shadow Ball of his life. Now, honestly, at this point, we can either sack Zeraora, or we can continue clicking Shadow Ball because we are choice specs. Either of those plays really work. And we're going to take half from Earthquake, and since we got the special defense drop, there's no way that this Gliscor survives, even after protecting. So this is going to be a win for Mr. Titan T. Very good stuff for Mr. Titan T. We're going to go into Goldango now. I guess the idea is to maybe try and stall it out and just pray that Zeraora never has an attack that actually does damage to Gliscor. But, you know, it looks like Antkiller is going to do what he can to delay the inevitable. Because, you know, everyone is so preoccupied clicking Protect that they don't seem to realize that it's not accomplishing anything for them, as Antkiller just found out there. Alright, and we finally go into Game 3. And the final game of Week 1 of the playoffs is here. We have arrived. Alright, so we have Glimmora come in against the Dragapult. The Dragapult's just going to click Shadow Ball this time, as Rotom comes in, which is probably correct, I would say. Rotom's going to switch out as the Zeraora comes in, and if the Zeraora is packing Play Rough, this switch is fantastic. And look at that. Glimmora is going to get Play Roughed as Mr. Titan T gets Outred. Very good stuff. We're going to now Volt Switch into... I mean, something, right? We go into Galarian Moltres, and we are slower than this Glimmora, and Glimmora is going to land a Power Gem, killing our Galarian Moltres. Now Tapu Fini is going to come in and get poisoned by the Poison Spike. And Rotom's going to come in response to that, because we've decided to stop making good predictions. And, yeah, there we go. We get a Scald off on Rotom. Very cool. Now Antkiller's going to go into Ditto for no goddamn reason whatsoever. Yeah. I guess we wanted to see the Ditto use Moonblast. You wanted to see the moveset, I guess. And now, as a result, Ditto's going to get Scald Burned for its troubles. Alright, so Mr. Titan T should do his best to keep the Fini alive, and this Ditto is just using Moonblast on everything because it's Scarf Ditto, obviously. Now, Antkiller is going to probably lose his entire Ditto because he has decided to just let the Hatterene, you know, set up Trick Room and Healing Wish, and in comes probably Ursaluna once again. Yep, there it is. And for whatever goddamn reason, Mr. Titan T is like, nah, you know what? Let's go into Tapu Fini instead. We put in the Ursaluna to kill this thing. Let's go into Tapu Fini instead. Cool. Why did we do that? We just wasted an entire turn of our Trick Room. Now we don't have a Hatterene to set up Trick Room again. And look at that. All of that just to what? Bring Victini down to its Focus Sash, lose our Trick Room, and most of our Fini's remaining health? Like, what did we accomplish there? We wasted that Healing Wish. That Hatterene did nothing. Like, you essentially accomplished nothing with that one Pokemon. Just because you decided to make one bad switch that didn't accomplish anything. Like, why would you not just click the Stab Earthquake? Or, you know, Swords Dance, or Facade even. Like, Facade would have been a better play there. And it wouldn't have even killed the Victini. Like... But instead, we've decided to lose, you know, 2 whole Pokemon for the price of 1 turn. And now we have to go into Dragapult. We finally used Draco Meteor. I'm not sure what we were trying to predict with Draco Meteor, but now we have to start sacking Pokemon to the Gliscor because Gliscor is going to beat the rest of our team. So we finally get a Flamor Burn Off. Very good stuff. Did we use Swords Dance here? Okay, cool. Imagine if we still had Trick Room, right? Imagine if we had Swords Dance with Trick Room. Imagine how scary this Ursaluna would be right now. We're going to pick up the KO on Glimmora with Ice Punch, and now we have to deal with the fact that for the remainder of the game we are poisoned. Ditto is going to come in, copy our Ursaluna, and even with the Scald Burn, thanks to Ditto copying Swords Dance, it is going to be able to kill the Ursaluna with Earthquake. Now Ditto's going to come out as Zeraora comes in and releases Hidden Power. That's gotta be Ice. And that's a lot of damage. In fact, it nearly kills the Gliscor here. And this game can still be won by Mr. Titan T. And Antkiller's gonna click Protect. I guess he's really scared of dying to Hidden Power Ice, even though he will die to Hidden Power Ice anyway. And why did we even click Protect? I guess extra poison damage, I guess? Yeah, sure. We'll call it extra poison damage. Anyway, Kamoa's gonna come in, and we are gonna whip a Play Rough, and Antkiller is probably going to get the least deserved win I think I've ever seen. However, Ditto in the back copying Play Rough won the game there anyway. And now, Mr. Titan T is also going to miss Draco Meteor for good measure, and Antkiller gets really lucky at the end of this game, resulting in a 2-1 win for Antkiller, even though, like I said, he probably won the game anyway if that Play Rough connects and kills the Komo. Because, you know, then Ditto just becomes whatever Pokemon Mr. Titan T goes into, and wins the game. So, yeah, that will do it for week 1 of the Cupid League playoffs. Now, our semi-final matches, I believe, are Lionheart versus Plasma and Antkiller versus Spirit. I believe those were the matches. So, yeah, this was week 1 of the playoffs. I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next week's recording. Later.